Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सागण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिनी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाशत देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते. नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगत हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. नाम जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Everyone, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Meeting after quite a long time now.
Yes, Mataji.
2 weeks I was not there, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Last week, Rakshita Mataji took the class, no?
Yes.
I think she took till 9th, right?
No. She took some disappearance.
7, 8, 9 she took.
Yes, Mataji.
Correct? From 10th we have to start. So what are we, which prayers are we seeing now?
Dhruva's prayers.
Yeah, prayers by Dhruva Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. या निवृत्तिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्मा ध्यानात् भवाज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमानि अपि नातमाभूत् किं त्व अन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्. Can repeat after me. या निवृत्तिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्मा
Ya nirvritam tava pada padma
ध्यानात् भवाज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात्
dhyanat shravanena vasya
सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमानि अपि नाथमाभूत्
brahmani swamahimanya apinathamabhut
किं त्वा अन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्. या निवृत्तिस्तस्मृतां तव पादपद्मा
या
या
निवृत्तं तव
निवृत्तिस्थानुवृता तव पादपद्मा
ध्यानात् भवात् जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात्
ज्ञानात् भवात् श्रवणेन वा स्यात्
सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमनि अपि नातमाभूत्
ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमानि अपि नाथमाभूत्
किं त्वा अन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्
त्वन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्
Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that it is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged in the impersonal Brahman as one with the Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, then what to speak of temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to the heavenly planets, which is ended by separating sword of time. Although one may be elevated to the heavenly planets, he falls down in due course of time. Who will read the puppet now? Can raise your hands. Okay, Mrinal Prabhu. Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Shavina Mataji, next one you can read.
The transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, primarily from Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting, cannot be compared to the happiness derived by karmis by elevating themselves to the heavenly planets or by gyanis or yogis who enjoy oneness with the supreme impersonal Brahman. Yogis generally meditate upon the transcendental form of Vishnu, but devotees not only meditate upon him but actually engage in the direct service of the Lord. In the previous verse, we find the phrase Bhavapaya, which refers to birth and death. The Lord can give relief from the chain of birth and death, and it is a misunderstanding to think, as do the monists, that when one gets relief from the process of birth and death, it is he merges into the supreme Brahman. Here it is clearly said that the transcendental bliss derived from Sravanam and Kirtanam by pure devotees cannot be compared to Brahmananda, or the impersonal conception of transcendental bliss derived by merging into the absolute. The position of karmis is still more degraded. Their aim is to elevate themselves to the higher planetary systems. It is said, Yanti Devabrata Devan, person who worship the demigod are elevated to the heavenly planets. But elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, verse 9.21, we find Kisne Punne Matyalokam Visanti. Those who are elevated to the higher planetary system must come down again as soon as the results of their pious activities are exhausted. They are like the modern astronauts who go to the moon. As soon as their fuel is used up, they are obliged to come back down to this earth. As the modern astronauts who go to the moon or other heavenly planets by force of jet propulsions have to come down again after exhausting their fuels. So also do those who are elevated to the heavenly planets by force of yagnas and pious activities. Antakasi tulitat. By the sword of time, one is cut from his exalted position within this material world, and he comes down again. Dhruva Maharaj appreciates that the result of devotional service are far more valuable, and he comes down, valuable
Than
than
merging.
merging into absolute or being elevated to the heavenly planets. The words papatam bimanat are very significant. Bimana means airplanes. Those who are elevated to the heavenly planets are like airplanes which just that word is not coming here clearly.
Which
Which drops when they run out of fuel. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In the translation. My Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that it is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged in the impersonal Brahman as one with the Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, then what to speak of temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to the heavenly planets, which is ended by the separating sword of time. Although one may be elevated to the heavenly planets, he falls down in the due course of time. So, what is Dhruva Maharaj saying is saying here? So, in this, we can understand that. So, there are three realization in God realization, no? So, three stages. What are they? So, the absolute can be realized in three stages, no?
Yes, I'm the soul, not the body.
No, not that one. That is the
Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
Yes. So the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here Dhruva Maharaj is saying that the Bhagavan is the highest realization. So that is what is said by all the devotees. And even we know, like when the four Kumaras, right? They were impersonalist. And when they were, so there's a verse which says, when they smeared the smell of tulsi leaves, which was offered to the Lord. So just by the smell, it evoked their devotion towards the Lord, and they became the pure devotees. Actually, they were impersonalist in the beginning. So, see, and I think, let me see if I have opened that verse here. Yeah. This is the verse, famous verse. Tasyaravinda nayanasya pada aravinda kinjalkamishra tulasi makaranda vayuhu antargata svavivarena chakara tesham sanshobhamaksharajusham apiti chittatanvoho. So when the priest carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of personality of Godhead entered the nostrils of those sages, they experienced a change in body, both in the body and mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. So then the four Kumaras were also actually it was in the stage of Brahmananda. They were not, they didn't, because in the stage of Brahmananda, here he says there is no bliss. No. So what is the realization? What does one get when one attains the stage of Brahmananda? Krishna is called as Satchidananda Rupa, no? Satchidananda. So even we are also Satchidananda. The soul is also Satchidananda. But then in Brahmananda, there is only partial realization. So what is that realization? What does one achieve? Of course, he knows that I'm not body. I'm like, I'm not body, I'm soul. In the Brahmananda realization, he's on a platform of, he's the soul. But then what is that called?
He is neither in
see,
spiritual
Bhagwan has a
stage nor
feature,
in
na?
the material stage.
See, Bhagwan is in
Neither.
a state. Bhagwan has Krishna. We say Satchit Ananda, Satchit Ananda. So in Brahmananda, what is one gets. What is Sat, what is Chit, and what is Ananda? Yes, who knows? What is Sat, Chit, Ananda meaning?
Sat is eternal.
Blissful and knowledge.
No, it has to be in order. Yes, first is Sat is eternal. So there is no birth, no, for the soul also. That is eternal, always existing. And next is Chit. What is the Chit meaning?
Knowledge.
Blissful.
Chit is knowledge. No,
Knowledge.
in the word itself you can make out. Then Chit, Ananda. Ananda itself we know, no? Ananda means happiness or blissful. So that blissful is achieved. So in the the yogis, they meditate upon the 400 feature of the Lord and they attain Brahman Paramatma realization. No, Paramatma realization is the yogis will get. They made but then the actual realization, the bhaktas who actually engage in the service of the Lord, they only get the bliss. No, because we can see whoever completely engaged in the service of Lord, they are always blissful because they are not affected by the material modes. So because Krishna is above all the three modes, when one is engaged in the devotional service of the mode, service of the Lord, so he also raise above those three modes. Otherwise, we are usually in the platform of the three modes, right? Mostly on the mode of passion and ignorance. But then when one raised to the stage of bhakti, so it is above the mode of goodness. It is said pure mode of goodness. So that is why the blissful stage is achieved. And here Prabhupada gives in the purport, here also in the Dhruva Maharaj says here that what to speak of temporary blissfulness achieved when one goes to heavenly planet, because in other scripture, in other scriptures, in other religions, if we see, the highest they say is a heavenly planet, and it is believed, they believe that the God is in heavenly planet and God is also enjoying. So that is not the right. So if we see the authentic scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, so what does it say? Or even in the Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna has himself spoke the Bhagavad Gita, so which has come from his lotus mouth. So it is said as Bhagavad Gita. So what does he say? He says, Kshine Punye Matyalokam Vishanti. No? So Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam, kshine punye matyalokam vishanti. So he says there, Krishna says that after enjoying for many years, because of the doing pious activities, one can go to heavenly planets. It's not so difficult. By performing certain sacrifices and doing pious activities, one achieves that. But then that is like just like a currency. So when some currency we have, and if it is spent on some buying something, then the amount is over, right? We don't have. So Prabhupada gives in a purport also that it's just like a scientist going, an astronaut going to the moon. No, there's a fuel required, but then once that get exhaust, he has to come down. He cannot survive there. So just like that, when the pious merits, whatever the credits he have, if when it is exhausted, the person has to come back to this material world. So there's no end. Always they have to rotate in the it is just like I mean, what is that called? Fairy wheel, no? In the VC, so in the we would have played in when you were small and all. So in that way, what will happen? It goes up and comes down. No, so similarly, when one goes to a heavenly planet, he has to come down when the pious credit is over. So there's no, I mean, again, because it is said that when somebody does heavenly planet, is actually the timing is differs. So it is not the same time that we have here in earthly planets. So it is like here I mean, there it is just like a second, here it would be many years. So what will happen? The person can go there, and by the time he come, it would be like towards the end of Kali Yuga, or like there is no spirituality existing in the world, because that is what it is said. The time, because Krishna is, so here it is said, everything is ended by this separating sword of time. So Krishna is the time, the Kala. No, what will happen? the time has gone so many years ahead that we don't have the opportunity to take up to devotional service also. So it's very, I mean, it is, what to say, it is very scary to think about also that if what would happen, we may think like we can enjoy an heavenly planet, but it would be like a second it will go there. But here when we come, it would have gone like many years ahead, and then we take birth here. So it's not, and also even the heavenly planets also, there's no happiness. Krishna says, Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjana mamupetyetu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So whichever loka we go, again we have to take birth. So there's no escape. And the time is there. This time is there existing only in the material world. So, but in the spiritual world, time is eternal. So it's always, so we know like the Krishna, when he has with the different rasas, when he engaged with his devotees, like, with the, for example, with Yashoda Maya. So his mother with the Vatsalya rasa. So that he is always, every day it keeps growing there. The rasa keeps growing, but the time means he never grows up. Krishna remains the same little boy for his mother. So similarly, it is like that. So it is eternal. But in material world, the time starts when a baby is born, right? From the womb of the mother. Immediately the time starts, right? The time is running every day. So every day, one day near to the death. We are one day near to the death. So we don't know how many years we are alive. So once Yaksha, right? Yaksha asked Yudhishthira Maharaj that what is a wonderful thing in this world? So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, what was Yudhishthira Maharaj's answer? Anyone knows? What did Yudhishthira Maharaj say? What is that most wonderful thing in this material world?
That people will die definitely, but still they act like they will always live.
Yes. So we are having such a big plans, no? We make such a big plans for us to live here, and as though we think that we are going to live ever in this material world, and we have so much plans. And Prabhupada also says that actually this is a like a this is a hospital actually. Why did Krishna made this material world? For a purpose, for us, so that we reform here. So, but then what do we think? We think that this is a hotel. So I'm here to enjoy. So if practically, if we think, when, I mean, if we are not aware of this, because if we don't have this, even we were not aware until we had the knowledge of from Bhagavad Gita and these classes, right? So, but when we have this knowledge, so we know that actually it does not make sense, but then it's not so easy to come out of these three modes of material nature. So this time is there in this material world. So every day a person is coming near to death. So that is what Yudhishthira Maharaj said, that every person, he sees that somebody is dying in his family. We also see so many people we see dying, but then our near and dear ones. But then people always have a hope, no? That tomorrow I'll be awake and I have plans for many years. We make plans. So that is the most wonderful thing, he said. So that is so he was very pleased by that answer. So similarly, this time is not influenced in the spiritual world. So this is only for the material world. And Prabhupada says that for devotees who are engaged in Krishna consciousness, the time is actually acts as eternal, no? Because they are not affected by the material difficulties or these things, because they are on transcendental platform, just like Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, so much trouble he faced all his life, but then he was always on the transcendental platform. So how much ever pressure he had, but we cannot see that in his purports. It's always so blissful, and it is guiding us throughout. So so they are on the higher platform. So here again, Prabhupada gives verses that mentions here that the people who worship, so there are different destinations for different worship, no? So if somebody worship demigods, they go to the heavenly planets. And the people, people in mode of, which mode does worship the demigods as per Bhagavad Gita? In chapter 17, what does it talk about?
Passion.
Passion.
Passion. And mode of goodness? Mode of goodness is the Devatas, no? Mode of goodness is Devatas. Mode of passion is actually they worship some what to say? They give sometimes a position of a person also as God. Sometimes people worship the persons also as God. And in the mode of ignorance, whom does they worship?
The ghost.
Yeah, the ghost and spirits, no? So what will they happen? They will go to that lokas because there are so many lokas, the 14 planetary systems. So they will go to the lower planetary system where those people reside. So whatever it's just like I'm buying a ticket for Mumbai, and then I expect it to go to Chennai. It will not possible, no? It will go there only. So similarly, when we worship a particular demigod or even the whatever we do worship, so similarly that will be our destination. But Krishna says, "Mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate." So if you worship me, then you will not be born again. So highest worship is said to be worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also it is not like we are not respecting or anything. So it is like we are treating them as part and parcel of the Lord. No, they are also part and parcel of the Lord. And Bhagavatam also states that they are just like the branches and twigs and branches of a tree. And when the root is watered, so obviously they all get nourished. So there's no separate worship. But then when we go to them, so how should be our worship if we go to because they are also the devotees of the Lord, no? Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they're all great devotees of Lord Krishna. So how do we worship them? If we are worshipping them, how should be our consciousness? It's not like one should not, but then how should be our consciousness when you worship them? What will you ask them? What should we ask them?
For bhakti.
Krishna Prema.
Yes, Krishna Prema. And also we can, because Krishna knows, no? Because whatever, akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So Bhagavatam says, akama. Akama means if you have no desire. Sarva kamova, you have so many desires. Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udaradihi. So even if you want liberation, so for anything, one should go for Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva kamova moksha kamo udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So one should, because Krishna can give anything. No, did he not give what Dhruva wanted? Actually, Dhruva came for materialistic thing. No, he wanted a bigger kingdom than his father. So Krishna granted better than that. He gave him a kingdom. He gave him a planet which would not even get annihilated even at the time of annihilation. I mean, when everything will get annihilated, all the 14 planets, the Dhruva planet will not get annihilated. That is what the Lord gave. So Krishna will always give the best one. So why? So one who is intelligent, so we should go worship the Supreme Lord. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Bhakti muhu pravahatam vaime prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayanam yenancha sol vanam uruvyasanam bhavabdhim neshye bhavat guna katamrutapana Okay, can be paid. Bhakti muhu pravahatam vaime prasango
Bhakti prasango
Bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayanam
Yad Ananta
mahatam
Mahatam
amalasayanam
yenancha solpanam urvyasanam bhavabdhim
येनाञ्जसोल्बनं पुरु व्यसनं भवाब्धिं
निश्ये भवात् गुणकथामृतपानः
निश्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः
भक्तिं मुहु somebody yes. भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसङ्गो
भक्तिं प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसङ्गो
भूयादनन्तमहताम् अमलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोल्भनुम् उरुव्यासनं भवाब्धिम्
येनाञ्जसोल्बनं कुरु व्यसनं भवाब्धिं
निश्ये भवात् गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः
निश्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः
वीणा माताजी वीणा माताजी please do it.
My internet is very shaky, Mataji. It's getting
Okay.
discontinued.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Can
Somebody
someone
else?
else please read? Yeah.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Yeah. Yes, Muralidhar Prabhu, please read.
Translation. Dhruva Maharaj continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existent. Purport also shall Mataji?
Yes, yes, please continue. Yeah.
Purport. The significant point in Dhruva Maharaj's statement is that he wanted the association of pure devotees. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete and cannot be relishable without the association of devotees. We have therefore established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from this Krishna Consciousness Society and yet engaged in Krishna Consciousness is living in a great hallucination, or this is not possible. For this statement by Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service does not mature. It does not become distinct from material activities. The Lord says, Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hirita karna rasayana. Bhagavad Gita 3.25.25. Only in association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to the heart and ear. Dhruva Maharaj explicitly wanted the association of devotees. That association in devotional activities is just like the waves of an incessantly flowing river. In our Krishna conscious society, we have full engagement 24 hours a day. Every moment of our time is always busily engaged in the service of the Lord. This is called the incessant flow of devotional service. A Mayavadi philosopher may question us. You may be very happy in the association of devotees, but what is your plan for crossing the ocean of material existence? Dhruva Maharaj's answer is that it is not very difficult. He clearly says that this ocean can be crossed very easily if one simply becomes mad to hear the glories of the Lord. Bhavat Guna Katha. For anyone who persistently engages in hearing the topics of the Lord from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitra Amrita, and who is actually addicted to this process, just as one becomes addicted to intoxicants. It is very easy to cross the nescence of material existence. The ocean of material nescence is compared to a blazing fire. But to a devotee, this blazing fire is insignificant because he is completely absorbed in devotional service. Although the material world is blazing fire, to a devotee it appears full of pleasure. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. The purport of this statement by Dhruva Maharaj is that the devotional service in the association of devotees is the cause of the development of further devotional service. By devotional service only is one elevated to the transcendental planet Goloka Vrindavana, and there is only devotional service. For the activities of devotional service, both in this world and in the spiritual world, are one and the same. Devotional service does not change. The example of a mango can be given here. If one gets an unripe mango, it is still a mango, and when it is ripe, it remains the same mango, but it has become more tasteful and relishable. Similarly, there is a devotional service performed according to the direction of the spiritual master, and the injunctions and regulative principles of Shastra, and there is devotional service in the spiritual world, rendered directly in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they are both the same. There is no change. The difference is that one stage is unripe and the other is ripe and more relishable. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So Dhruva Maharaj continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existent. So, so this material world, it is compared to like the problems that occur in this material world. It is like a blazing fire, in the sense that in the forest, how like the forest fire can catch at any time, no? So similarly, the problems in our life, it is like that. The dangers, at any moment we can confront a danger, so anything can happen anytime. So it is so unpredictable, the material world, no? So the problems are like that. So in the morning prayer, we sing, no? So Samsara Dava. Who knows the first stanza? Can someone sing? Samsara Dava. What does it say there? Samsara Dava Nalalidaloka Pranaya Karunya Gana Ganatvam. No? Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasi. Sorry. Yeah, correct. No? Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. So what does it say there? It is compared, this material world, the problems that we face here compared to the material world itself, the material existence is compared to the forest fire. And the spiritual master is like a cloud, no? Like, I mean, and then how does it, I mean, his mercy is compared to the rains. So when the rain, so when a person is so thirsty and he has not had water for for a long time, if we say he didn't get water, and when he's thirsty, if you give a ocean water, what is the use? No, he cannot, even so much is there, he can't have. But then when there is a grace, by grace of God, when there is a rain, so when it showers, even a one drop also, it can quench his thirst, right? So it is so, he feels so satisfied. So that is available only by mercy of the spiritual master, it is said. So it is there. I mean, so the Krishna, one is able to get that happiness in devotional service by the mercy of a Vaishnava. So by serving a Vaishnava, one gets that taste in the devotional service, it is said. So the association is mentioned here is very important to to advance in the spiritual life. So association can be direct association, that is by visiting temple, and we get a direct association of the devotees. That is very good, but not all the times. When it is not possible, then how do we associate? We associate through online, just like how we are associating now. So when we associate with the devotees online also, we get the same benefit because we hear. It's not like even when a spiritual master, it is said that we can do two type of seva to spiritual master. What are they? One is the Vapu Seva and Vani Seva. So Vapu Seva means serving the spiritual master physically, his body, serving, no, washing his feet or washing his clothes, or doing the same different things for the spiritual master on bodily platform. But then Vani Seva is more it is on a higher platform compared to Vapu Seva, because Vani Seva, even Prabhupada is not there today, means eternally he exists, but physically his body is not there. But still, through his words, he is guiding us, right? So Vani Seva means, so we can, one should read, keep a time for reading Prabhupada books. So, and to hear Prabhupada lecture. Here it is said that, let me become mad, no? He says here that Prabhupada gives in the purport, right? So somewhere I read that. So Dhruva Maharaj says there that I want to become mad in hearing the about the glories, right, of the Lord. So where is it? Somewhere. Anyone is able to see that? It's just read. Yeah, here, if you see here, if one simply becomes mad to hear the glories of the Lord, he clearly says that this ocean can be crossed very easily, because it's not very difficult. Because Mayavadis, when they ask this, they don't want to associate. Actually, they are against association because they think that everything is Maya. They want to keep themselves aloof from everything and meditate on the Brahman, that is Nirvikara, like without form. So it's very difficult actually. When Krishna says that's not easy. No, kleshodikaraste sham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkam. So Krishna says there in chapter 12 that who is a better position. When Arjuna asks, Krishna says that kleshodikatarastesham, both are good, but then it is very difficult to meditate upon the formless feature of the Lord, which Mayavadis does. It will take many lives for them to realize. But then doing devotional service, I mean, slowly Krishna will reveal, and it is possible. Prabhupada says, even in this life, one can see Krishna when they are sincere and when they have mercy of the Lord and the Guru. It is possible. So here, but that will happen how? By hearing. So hearing is very important. So even in there's one verse, right? Shunvatam swakatam Krishna punyashravana kirtanam hridyantasto hi abhadrani vitoti surudam satam. So it says that when one get the desire to hear the pastime, transcendental pastime of the Lord, so all the misgivings are taken away. Krishna will he will make his heart pure. No, when one has that eagerness to hear about the Lord, so Krishna will remove all the anarthas from our heart. So that is why we chant, no? The Hare Krishna mantra also is for the same thing. When we chant, it removes all the anarthas from our heart. No? So Cheto Darpana Marjanam, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it is like a mirror which is cleaning the mirror, just like. So our consciousness, what is cleaning? our consciousness is contaminated now. Actually, we are pure, but then contaminated by the three modes. So that pureness, if we have to develop, only in the mode of goodness, it is said one can understand Krishna. Otherwise, when we are in other modes, it's not easy to understand Krishna and his pastimes. So the atheistic people or Mayavadi, these people are never able to understand Krishna, no, because they are not accepting the Shastras and they are not accepting a pure devotee. No, when we hear from through the parampara, right? Whatever is there, because in the parampara means whatever is we hear, it is the same thing. Just like a postman, whatever is Prabhupada says, the same thing is being told. Correct. So when we hear from there the writings of the great acharyas and guru, the spiritual master, so then slowly we get purified. So the association is said very important. No, and when Yudhishthira Maharaj once told Vidura, right? So Tirtham Kurvanti Tirthani. So he said, whichever place you are, that is becomes the Tirtha Sthala. No need, not just taking a bath in a Yamuna or Ganga will not get purified. But when we associate with the pure devotee, that itself is so much beneficial. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also said, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoi. So even today in Bhagavatam class, Aishwarya Mataji was mentioning what is the lava means. Is anyone who remembers? Lava means what? Lava matra means how much? The time.
1/11th of a second.
Yes, very nice. So 1/11th of a second, we can't even, the English does not have it. No, in English, we don't have such thing. We only have second, but 1/11th of a second is so short, and even so much time, if we are able to associate with the pure soul, that is so much beneficial, it is said. It can change our life. So that is the thing. That is why we should always endeavor to, whenever there is some hearing, if in temples, if you are nearby temples in ISKCON, when you know that somebody is coming Vaishnava to give lecture, please utilize the opportunity and go and attend. Right? We should make that, because so much is there. Because they're pure and they're in consciousness, so much we change. And NND Prabhuji always says that we should always hear to, even Aishwarya Mataji also mentions, right? So all the senior Vaishnavas, they mentioned that we should always try to hear and read Prabhupada lectures. Hear Prabhupada lecture, read Prabhupada books. Why? Because only that can transform. We are not right. I don't have that capacity to change someone's heart or make somebody a devotee. But then Prabhupada has that, because he's a pure devotee. He's not contaminated, and we may just speak the philosophy, but then he is living such life. Unless we are living that life in 100%. We are trying now. We are actually like a babies, right? We are struggling. It's not that we are perfect or we are 100%. We are able to follow what is we are supposed to do in Krishna consciousness. We walk, we fall, right? It is not easy. And it happens. Even like, for example, I had 2 functions over, 2-3 functions I had over last 2 weeks, and I was outstation. I was finding myself so difficult to even chant. Complete my 16 rounds itself was becoming a challenge for me. So I was just thinking how difficult it is. Like, if we are at home and we have the all favorable environment, it is very easy to do Krishna consciousness. But when you go in a house where it is not supportive, or when you go out in public, it is not easy. So we are struggling, right? I really feel it is if somebody is doing that, I really think they're doing a great job. If you are being like, if family is not supporting, and if you're doing, and if you're still outside mixing with people and still you are able to do, then that is really a big thing in Kali Yuga. No, Kali Yuga, it is not easy, because people are mostly distracted, and it's not easy, and you cannot convince people also. So that is why we have to, whenever there is an opportunity to meet, we have to make use of it and meet the sadhus or the Mahatmas, who are engaged they have dedicated their life for the service of the Lord. So Krishna says in chapter 12 that whoever has engaged in or taking into devotional service, what he says, Tesham maham samuddarta mrityu samsara martvani bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So whoever has in devotional service, Krishna Samudarta, I mean, I will take them over this ocean of material existence, cross them. So it's very difficult. Otherwise, we keep taking birth after birth in different yonis, of 84 lakh species. There's no end. So we never know what is right, what is wrong. But when we take the shelter of a guru, he knows what is right. That surrender should be there. So when we have that surrender and humility to serve, then the spiritual master will reveal to us and he can give us Krishna, right? So here one more thing is mentioned in this. So here it said every day we have to hear and read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. This itself is enough for one to come out of this cycle of birth and death, it is said here. So here Prabhupada says Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. Although though this material world is blazing fire, to a devotee it appears full of pleasure. So how is it full of pleasure? So because this is said by Prabodhananda Saraswati. So he said Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, because the devotee always wishes well for everyone. He's a well-wisher of all. He don't wish bad. So when we have, and he's non-envious, Krishna also says, I mean, I am telling you this Guhyatamam Jnana, this knowledge, because you are non-envious. Anasuya way, he says, in Bhagavad Gita. So similarly, this devotees, pure devotees, who are on transcendental platform like Prabhupada, and so they're non-envious. They wish only good for everyone. Even the other person is trying to hurt them, they still wish only good because they are not on a bodily platform, right? So, but only when one is engaged in Krishna consciousness by mercy of Lord Chaitanya, so for him this entire world can appear to be happy. No, he has nothing, because he has nothing to fear, nothing to lose. So he accepts everything as it comes. Like Krishna says, Matra Sparshaastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada. So this material world is designed in such a way that there is problems and adversities in this. But then he takes it as it is, it comes, thinking that it is grace of the Lord. No, the pure devotee takes everything like that. When Prabhupada's company was set fire, it was he was completely on. He didn't have anything. He was on roads, but then he was smiling, and Prabhupada said that this is plan of Krishna. So Krishna wanted me to completely engage now in devotional service, in his service. That is why he has done this. So if something happened to us, we are not in the same platform to take it. No, many people will become atheist when something bad happens. If they're doing worship, they will leave everything and they will become atheist. So that is all, like Krishna is giving us test if we pass or not. So those are all on material. So the bodily platform, whatever is happening, we should not take it much to the mind. But this can happen only when we do the hearing from the right source. Because if we hear Prabhupada lecture, it makes us spiritually very strong. No? Here it is said that it is just like Prabhupada use here, right? The intoxicant, no? So Prabhupada somewhere right here. So it just act like an intoxicant. Where is it? Can't see.
Second para, middle of
Which one? Second para?
second para, sixth, seventh line.
Yeah. So here, you can say, is actually addicted to this process, that is Krishna conscious process. Just as one becomes addicted to intoxicant, it is very easy to cross. So just like the person who is addicted to the taking alcohol, no, he cannot leave. Always once if he got into habit, every day he feels like having. So similarly, when we start reading, when we start getting the taste in hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot leave it. Or when you start reading, you feel like every day you have to. So make a habit, every day read one or two, at least 5 pages you can plan. If you have not started it, Srimad Bhagavatam, please start reading every day 5 verses. Make it as a habit. So make it a habit, at least before going to bed. It is good to do something. It said even watching TV is not good because it's not good for eyes. Many people suffer, like they are not able to have good sleep over the night because that lights give a signal to your brain that still it is if the light is there, it is still like a day. No, the brain cannot make out. It thinks, and then it makes us keep awake. People don't get sleeps at night. It's because of these radiations and mobile and TV and these things. So better keep a time for reading. Keep that half an hour before going to bed for reading half an hour Prabhupada books. And so that we can also, even in the dream, we will not do any obnoxious dreams or anything. No, we should not get. We can pray to Lord Narasimha while before going to bed, and so in that way one can remember. So here more thing is one has to. It is mentioned about the association. One should aspire for to in engaging with the to hear from a pure devotees or to get association of the devotees. Okay, I think we are already 8. We'll stop here. Any questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I just shared the link that I found way back. There are about 320 videos of Srila Prabhupada sharing his Bhagavad Gita lectures. Each and every verse has about an hour of discussion. It's really blissful. I just wanted to share it with the group that it's been really
very
nice to hear those. Yeah, everything, all 18 chapters, and it's by verse. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Can share in group, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yep.
These are all Prabhupada on the chapter Bhagavad Gita, is it?
Yeah. So it's since he started giving lectures from 1966, I think someone took audio recordings of those. So wherever he went, to Los Angeles, to South Africa, any different place that he gave lectures, they were all recorded. So this is basically not just said in one day or anything, but throughout his lifetime.
Yes, sure. Okay. Mataji has posted in the link. You can all save it. Maybe we can post in the group also. Okay. Any questions? Hare Krishna. And Neha Mataji has posted the attendance. Hope if all of you have marked. Any questions or any suggestions? Am I going slow or I don't know? If you have any suggestions, you can. Hare Krishna.
The pace is good, Mataji.
Same pace? Okay. Okay, no other questions, then we can close for today. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavan ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can we chant 3 times? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so very much, Mataji,
Thank
for
you,
your
Mataji.
very nice class.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you so
Krishna.
much. Hare Krishna.